Salvador's capital city, San Salvador. Yes, I guess that makes it easier for my relatives who live near there to find a traditional souvenir, such as this one, for my family and me to bring home. This towel was a token of appreciation from my relatives handed over to my family and me on the last day of visiting El Salvador. I remember begging my dad to allow us to stop by a nearby beach right before boarding on a plane to head home. I was only 4 years old, and little did I know that it was a tradition for relatives to award us with a souvenir to cherish back home rather than to play with it right away. Learning about the value of a towel given to you on the last day of your trip to El Salvador can help you understand the Salvadoran culture. So first I will touch base on how a towel can be a key factor to represent the Salvadoran culture, and second I will discuss why I identify with this culture. In my dad's own words, this towel represents a bond of eternal affection and closeness that my relatives want to preserve for as long as they can, and they portray it so clearly in the Salvadoran culture. It's almost unavoidable for someone to not visit their hometown, regardless of its poverty. Not every one of my relatives were able to come to the United States 3 decades ago, when it was almost a movement to try to step foot here. So a couple of them decided to stay in El Salvador and continued working hard until they finally earned a well-paying job. Ever since my first visit, I quickly learned that it was a tradition to receive a towel right before heading back home. And as thanks for keeping in touch with them and not forgetting where you came from, blood relatives offer a towel to either keep your newborn baby warm or to keep yourself warm when you're watching television late at night, for example. When my dad's cousin first handed me this towel, her main goals were to express her gratitude for allowing myself to be part of this culture and to help me learn the many things that you can find in El Salvador. Each towel that's handed to you has something illustrated on it that the receiver can learn about. In this case, they are symbols, figures, and breathing habitats even that can be found in El Salvador. For example, here is a figure of a woman holding a bowl of fruits, which signify the fact that you can find many people around the country selling fruits on any of its sidewalks or in farmers markets. The people from El Salvador are extremely dedicated to education. They want the best for the youth, so they have made it a tradition to award a towel as a souvenir to grab children's attention and so that they see and learn from what's written on the towel. Another illustration is the sun, which represents El Salvador having a warm climate for the majority of the year, except for July and August, which may rain for many consistent days. Now that I have discussed how a towel can represent the Salvadoran culture, I will make it clear how I identify with this culture. Although I have only been to El Salvador once, my dad travels back and forth every 3 years, but I could never stop getting positive flashbacks whenever I started thinking about my last visit. For having been a 4-year-old who visited his parents' hometown for the first time, I can surprisingly remember how the place I slept in looked like and what our daily routines were. Though I did not grow to love the place immediately upon arrival, but I did understand what it meant to lead a life without materialistic items presenting themselves before me. Recently I've been using this towel to keep myself warm late at night. It's been extremely cold, and I love sharing my towel with my entire family because it reminds me, it actually makes me feel more connected because of where the towel was made. So today we were able to catch a glimpse of what it meant, Today we were able to catch a glimpse of what it meant to receive a towel from your relative's country, and that it can represent the Salvadoran culture. First, we discovered how a towel can be an important aspect to the Salvadoran culture, and second, we got the chance to learn how I identify with this culture. maybe it's not a towel that adds value to your life, but instead a meaningful locket or a photograph of your late grandmother or grandfather. Whatever it is, I'm sure it helps you stay that much more important to your culture and be more enthusiastic about life.